I'm number one on my list, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. Just to let you guys off the hook, I'm number one on the list.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Top 5s with Don SILL. I'm your host, Don SILL, and we got another great episode in store for you today. This is the top 5 canceled comedians. Crazy stuff. Some people deserve to be canceled, and some people don't. You be the judge. Please subscribe, like, and share, and comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say and who you think should be added to this list. Joining me is the one and only Christy Miller. She's the perfect person to do this episode with.
Yeah, thanks, you fucking old cunt.
Christy's awesome. She calls it as she sees it, and she's not afraid of anybody. She worked with Andrew Dice Clay. She worked with Paul Mooney. She calls it as she sees it. And to be honest, you can't cancel her. She won't let you. So now, without further ado, let's get right to it, folks. The top 5 canceled comedians. Christy Miller, how are you?
Hello. Hello.
It's so great to have you on because, this is going to be the top 5, canceled comedians or comedians that will soon be canceled or maybe should be, who knows, right? And for you, yes, there you go. Rocking the shade.
Oh yeah, I don't go home. I don't leave home without it. It's my Visa card.
Nice.
Or my American Express. I love it.
Yeah, that's perfect because you're the perfect person to talk to this about because not only are you kind of edgy and shocking on stage and in your podcasting and you just kind of, you're a truth teller. You call it as you see it. You shoot from the hip, and sometimes that could shake some cages and rattle some people up, but also your background, you opened up for guys like Andrew Dice Clay and Paul Mooney, and Andrew Dice Clay might be the most edgiest comedian we've ever had, especially in that time period. And then
Right.
Paul Mooney wrote for one of the edgiest comedians probably in history and an icon. So tell me a little bit about your viewpoint and where you stand on cancel culture and edgy comedy.
Okay, first of all, funny is funny. Lighten the fuck up.
Exactly.
Because I think cancel culture has become this blanket statement, kind of like Me Too, kind of like narcissism. Like it becomes this weird blanket statement that everything, like an umbrella, and everything's all of a sudden under this umbrella. And it's like, no, you're missing the point. Going after someone and taking them down versus, yeah, that's probably not cool to do, is a completely different thing. And the whole bottom line of all of this shit is, why don't you just worry about you? Take responsibility for your own actions. And what's happening is that we, for a long time, have not been held accountable for our actions, like since the 90s. That whole taking the discipline out of homes and schools, and you can't fight back. If someone hits you, you take the high road and don't hit back. And, the coward of the county. I think Kenny Rogers ruined everything, first of all.
I agree.
Kenny needs to be canceled for that fucking song. But it's like, because you take it and take it and take it, and when you snap one day and shoot up a fucking school, all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, what happened? Bitch, you tortured this fucking kid. You tortured this person. And nobody's held accountable for their actions. Like all these Karens running around calling people out on shit. I'm calling the police because you're black outside. Like, seriously? She needs to be punched in the face. Right. And we need to bring back street fighting.
We should allow that. That should be illegal.
Yes. Thing. We could kill this pandemic deficit in 5 minutes. We could shut down Times Square. It's outdoors, so it's socially distanced. The bleachers could be, at TKTS, put the people up there, let them stand around in the streets and rope it off and just have beefs handled in that ring.
That's how you establish pecking orders. That's,
And listen, I'm a big bleeding heart liberal scumbag. Yes, I will fuck somebody up. You know what I mean? Like I will protect everybody, and I can't stand fucking racist ass, arrogant, right-wing bullshit. I can't. Like, fuck you. Man up and handle your fucking business, and you won't give a fuck who else is at the dinner table with you. Shut up. So we need to bring back street fighting so we can hold people accountable for their bullshit. And another thing too is that people have been coddled. Like this generation's, like the last generation or two has been coddled and baby fucked, you know?
That's where the problem is, yeah.
And they don't know how to fall down and get hurt and pick themselves back up. So they're coddled, so everything triggers them. Oh my God, I'm triggered. There's a black man on 49th Street and I'm triggered. What? Like everybody is triggered. Oh my God, he said hi to me and I don't feel safe. This is bullshit. Oh my God, Andrew Cuomo said he wanted to kiss me. I'm triggered, bitch. He could have said he could still kiss me. If he would have kissed me instead of that bitch, we'd still be in bed and not in court today. You know what I'm saying? Like, handle your fucking bit. You could say no or walk away or punch him in the face, kick him in the nuts, call him out. But I'm fucking tired of little tiny bullshit getting blanketed in to this cancel culture. It's like, here's a great example. Remember, a year ago, November, I got knocked out on the train by a psycho who just stood up, punched me, and ran off, right?
Right, yeah.
Busted my eye open, went in the hospital. What did I do? Well, I filed a police report and pressed charges. Couldn't find him because there was no cameras, you know? No face, no case. So later on in July, during the pandemic, in the height of it here in Midtown, that crazy guy ran up, but I saw him coming at me, tried to punch me right here in the face, and I blocked it, so he clipped me in the throat and the neck and the chin.
Wow.
So I blocked it. No big deal. I mean, we stopped it. The police were called, but he got away. He's like, do you want to press charges? I'm like, not really. I'm not hurt. It's fine. Because I compared it to the other assault, right? Like, oh, less is more. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And then, like last Monday, I was going up the subway steps, and this white dude flies up to my side and looks at me, and he's like, I like your sneakers. I'm like, thanks. And I just kept going. But I thought, I'm in a narrow stairwell. It's me and him. I had my brass knuckles cupped in, ready. Just keep talking nice till I get to the top. I don't want to be ripped down the stairs or, you know, get stuck and get the fucking shit beat out of me in the stairwell and fall and hurt myself. Let me get to the top outside. Then I can handle business, right? So I'm just looking straight ahead. I go, thanks. He goes, you look nice. Where are you from? I go, here. And he goes, can I give you my number? And I said, no. He goes, why not? I go, because I said so. He goes, well, fuck you, bitch. Suck my 9-inch dick, you fucking bitch. As I'm walking down Lexington Avenue, he's screaming at the top of his lungs. Damn. And I'm like, you know what? I go, Cuomo, this is why women get mad. You got to be a little more subtle. See what I did there? That was a callback. See?
Yes.
But you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I'm triggered. He told me to suck his 9-inch dick. First of all, bitch, if you had 9 inches, you wouldn't have to ask people to suck it.
Yeah, you'd have that you know? BDE.
Yes, you'd just walk around and people just be sucking your dick randomly, you know, if it was really like that. But the thing is, I'm like, if I'm triggered, what was I going to do? Chase him? Excuse me, sir. You know what? Let me have your number because I want to call your boss and report you to HR. I want to have you fired. We would spend our entire lives chasing people down. And every man on this planet, including you, my brother, would catch a case off of something you said to a woman. Yep. Whether you meant to harm or not, it doesn't matter. You said something to a woman, she felt uncomfortable, she was like, ugh, gross, walked away. Every man has done it because you're men. That's what you do. You gross us out.
And that's what's scary in this time period. And we're seeing it, you know, like not only with comedians, but in our everyday life, like you just said. You know, it's hard to communicate with people now because you don't know if you're going to offend them, right? Or if you know, God forbid, if you're single and out there trying to pick up a woman, or you know, if you're trying to
kill yourself, get a hooker. At least it's an even tone exchange. You know, here's 20, you suck my dick, boom, everybody wins. You know what? Sorry, it's just the name of the game, and it's like what happens is people don't know who the fuck they are. They don't know who the fuck they are or where they fit into this world, so they're trying to find labels and pronouns and you know, they're trying to figure it out, and so they're offended by everything because they don't know what to be offended by or not. If you really know who the fuck you are, you won't get offended by 99% of the shit that happens because it ain't about you.
Right.
And that's when we get to the cancel culture and comedy and stand-up. It's jokes. Jokes are meant to invoke thought. Jokes are meant to soften the blow of the shitty reality we live in. And we laugh about it. It gets on our head. It's easier to break it down when something's tragic. And then we can handle it better. That's what we are for. to soften the blow of this shitty reality we call life. And if you get triggered by a comic, guess what you do? Click.
On our list here, I know you have a top five. I have a top five. We'll compare notes. We'll go one at a time, and then we'll see if we can combine them and come up with one top five. So, but these are the top five, canceled comedians, and a lot of them get canceled for all different kinds of reasons. Some might be warranted, perhaps, but some maybe not. Some and we'll discuss all of this, but I'm definitely interested to get into this with you. This is going to be pretty crazy.
For some that deserve it and some that don't.
Yes, exactly. So, do you want to go first? And
no, you lead the way. I'm following your lead.
All right, I'm
a lady lead, man. Lead, you fucking chauvinist pig.
I'm such a misogynist. No, what I'm thinking is I'm going to go first with a kind of a recent one.
Okay.
That's kind of just rebounded back into the news again with an apology video, and that is Chris Delia.
Okay, can I just be honest? Chris Delia was my 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh.
I know it looks bad, and it doesn't show the full scope of what happened.
Chris D'Elia is a douchebag.
Now, yeah, he was accused of getting into some. I don't know if he actually had sex with her, but he definitely had relations with a 17-year-old girl that I don't think he realized or allegedly didn't know that she was 17. And then, when
Listen,
he found
stories I've heard from Caroline's, from people that worked at Caroline's on Broadway when he was there, the stories I heard from them, he knew.
On camera, you gotta be a gentleman like this, like, hey.
Well, you're like,
right. Yeah. So, what do you think about the answer? So, when you first heard about Chris D'Elia, you already knew the rumors as a kind of an inside. What was some of the things going on about him prior to him getting canceled?
Just the things I heard was about young girls coming to the shows that he would invite, and he would take them back to the hotels, and he would bang them, and then the next night they'd come back to the show because they're young and impressionable. So young girls think, oh, he fucked me, he must love me. I've been that girl when I was a teenager, thanks, Dad. So, you know what I mean? Like, when you're young and impressionable and naive and haven't lived yet, when you still got placenta hanging around your ears, you think if a guy fucks you, that means he loves you, because women are emotional. And we think, oh, he must love me because he's sleeping with me. No, bitch, you're a wet fucking hole to stick his dick in for 5 minutes. But they're young and they don't get it. So these girls would show up the next night at Caroline's going, I'm his girlfriend and I'm with him. And they're like, you're not on the list. And they're like, but I'm with him. I was with him last night. And then Chris would send a message out, get her the fuck out of here. Don't let her hear.
Wow.
Nasty. I'm like, come on. That's like a teenage girl, dude. It's not like some 40-year-old or a 50-year-old bitch like me that's just pathetic that would just show up, I'll show up at the club because I'm fucking pathetic and I'm a loser. And I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm desperate, But it's like these young girls are so easily impressionable, and people fall in love with the celebrity they see. They don't see the person.
Right.
Like, it's the Wizard of Oz to them. It's the head, right. And then the real person's the man behind the curtain. So we see what we see on TV or in the movies or whatever the fuck, or on the stage. And these young girls like, oh, I love it. They think because he's cute, he must be nice.
I mean, sex, it controlled my life. It was the focus. It was my focus, all the time.
Now that this all came to light, yeah, and now he's trying to follow
oh, Brian Callen is such a scumbag. Like that dude is just. I used to know him. He's got weird skin. He's just creepy.
This is me saying that I categorically and absolutely deny all the allegations against me. I wanted you to see me say that. I didn't want to post some stale statement. I wanted you to hear that come out of my mouth.
I wouldn't fuck him with, Amy Schumer's pussy. You know what I mean?
He's not on my top 5, but he's definitely also a canceled comedian.
Delia is 40 years old.
Okay, so Delia is in the creepy zone. He's
Is it
40.
though? Is 40 really creepy though?
I think to a 20-something-year-old, maybe.
Maybe to like a 17-year-old, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta recheck myself then. Oh Jesus.
No,
But-
you still look like you're in your 30s.
Yeah,
So
and
you're
I'm 50.
Wow.
I'm older than Delia.
I
Awesome. I could hit on Delia and Chris from Dateline to be like, Christy, do you know who I am? Or he'd actually go, Christy, do you know what that is? That's Christy. Are you sure you want to go down that route, Christy? I'm 50. I don't care.
It's the hardest. It's the hardest thing ever to have to look at yourself and realize that that's what it is, and that's what you've done, and that's who you are, and so that's that.
Do you have a number 4 pick? Or do you have a pick, or you want me to just keep going? I'll throw them out at you.
Keep going because I have because Chris D'Elia is like a big one. I didn't have them in an order,
Right.
so I'm interested to see what your order is because I kind of had, because I had D'Elia and somebody else kind of tied,
Okay.
So go ahead and throw it out, and I'm just gonna play off you.
Okay. So my next one on the list, because there's a lot of people, a lot of comedians that have been accused and been canceled, but I just was trying to find some interesting ones. Mm-hmm. So we got Chris D'Elia as my number 5, and my number 4 would be Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman. He's never been the same.
But what am I?
He had some issues back in the day, I think in the 90s, when he got
so
caught.
Cute. Jerking off in a gay porn theater. Hey, that's like that old joke was, 2 people that have been shot in the head in a movie in a theater, Abraham Lincoln and the guy sitting in front of Pee Wee Herman.
He does a lot of things with kids over the world, and his career will be over when that story runs.
That's great.
Yeah, poor Pee Wee. Aw.
But yeah, Pee Wee, that's good. Pee Wee was pretty much canceled because he's never been quite the same since that all came out. I think he might have lost his movie franchise over that.
It destroyed his career because Pee Wee's Playhouse was very kid-oriented, but adults loved it because it was really dark humor.
How come you're not wearing your pajamas?
Oh, I brought everything with me. I'm going to change later on into my hostess pajamas.
Can I watch?
Oh, Pee-wee.
It was hilarious. It had such a cult following with adults. But it was like a kid's show. I remember watching it in the morning, like Saturday mornings or whatever it was, at Pee Wee's Playhouse. And I'm like, yeah, Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
He's talking to chairs and inanimate objects. Probably he stuck his dick in everything on that fucking set.
He probably did. He definitely falls in the creepy zone for sure. But I do think he got kind of, I don't know if it's a raw deal. I think he should have been in trouble and embarrassed. But when your career gets destroyed over something like that, and again, there's such a slippery slope with all this. No pun intended. But dealing with that.
I think the reason he got canceled was because he was a kid's show.
Right.
If he was an adult, we would have let him slide. He probably would have got, Mitzi probably would have said, oh, Pee Wee main room, 10:30. You know what I mean? But if he wasn't like a creepy like doll, slicking his hair down and putting on makeup in a suit that is too short for him, and riding his bike, and and in that jerking off in theaters, you know, and like it's just like if he wasn't a kid's show, I don't think it would have affected him as bad. But come on, dude, it's like if you found out Mr. Rogers was, you know, pulling trains on young girls at Epstein's house, you know, that would destroy me. Like, come on.
There's
it's
a visual.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood, bitch.
I want to be your neighbor.
Yeah. Won't you be me and the colored postman are gonna put our feet in the pool while we watch little girls play. You know, like,
holy shit.
I can't. Like that would destroy. But Pee-wee got a raw deal. But you know what? He didn't hurt anybody. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He was just jerking off at a porn theater. But again, nobody gives a fuck about the dude bagging groceries at the Trader Joe's. But if it's a celebrity, they go after him because they're easy to find and you get likes and attention from it. Because I talked to him and I pointed it out.
Exactly.
I'm the one who caught him.
And there is something with our culture where we like to build people up and then tear them down.
Yeah, it's the American way.
Yeah, and with Pee-wee, he almost had a comeback. Remember MTV when he came out? Heard any good jokes lately?
Heard any good jokes lately?
And it started, and I think he was in the works of making another Pee-wee movie. I don't know if that ever happened or if they just fell through. I've never heard.
I think it fell through. I don't remember it ever finishing, but I know he did parts in movies. Like in B films and like some dark roles he played.
Right,
after all that happened, because our beloved piano player at the Comedy Store, Jeff Scott, who recently passed away in January, you know, he was a Pee Wee Herman impersonator. That's how he got his start.
Oh, I got this guy. No, Mr. Monster, please don't eat me.
And that's what made him move to LA. And he was brilliant. He's in the Big Top Pee Wee movie poster on the bike. That's Jeff, not Pee Wee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was brilliant. He was so good. But Paul Reubens did like small roles in films, but he never had a Pee Wee comeback. There was talks about bringing it back because adults loved him so much and they kind of got over the fact he didn't hurt anybody. He wasn't fucking young girls, Delia.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wasn't, you know, being creepy, Callan. You know what I mean? He wasn't being, you know what I'm saying? He didn't hurt anybody. The only thing he hurt was his fucking wanker squeezing it too hard because it was such a good movie, you know? Broke it, you know? So it's like, you got, everything has to be a case-by-case basis.
Right.
You can't just black and white everything. You can't just like, if you're this, then you're this. But America, we love to label shit. We love to label shit. If you like this, then you're in this group. But if you like this, you're in this group. But what if you like this and this? Ooh, you can't be a part of our family.
Right, then they want to exclude you to the Misfit Island.
Yeah, so pick a pronoun and go to Misfit Island.
Yeah, nice. All right, we'll go now to my number 3 pick here.
Okay.
Which is also, you know, through the years, she's been a polarizing force with her, both with the stand-up and some of her actions, especially when she sang the national anthem. But Roseanne Barr. She's been canceled for a tweet where she basically lost everything over this tweet where she called the woman an ape.
Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ. The VJ referred to is Valerie Jarrett, the former advisor to President Obama.
Here's the thing with Roseanne. She's crazy.
When ABC called and asked me to explain my egregious and unforgivable tweet, I told them I thought Valerie Jarrett was white.
She's legit, like, certifiable.
Like, it wasn't just a tweet to be funny. She's gone.
Right.
Like, she's lost her fucking mind. I haven't seen Roseanne in a really long time, okay? But when I did see her was back when she had the Roseanne talk show. Remember her daytime talk show?
Oh, yeah.
That's when I would see her at the store. And Mooney was one of the writers on the show. And we had a birthday party for one of her producers, Lori Poloni. And Lori, I can't even talk. Mary Poloni was she's a friend of mine through Paul Mooney, because they worked together. So she was like one of the executive producers on the show. So we had a birthday party for Mary at this little place called Thai on Vine, just below Sunset. And it was this really cool rock and roll Thai restaurant. It was closed down. They rented it out. And Mooney said, okay, Roseanne's throwing this party for Mary. You're going to dress like a hooker, and we're roasting her. It was a roast. So he goes, dress like a hooker, like you're still on the streets, and Mary used to work with you. He goes, that's your character. So I turned it out, child. I was wearing, to the point where I was outside the restaurant for a few minutes, and a cop slowed down and looked at me. I said, dude, it's a party. It's a party. I'm not working, because there was working girls over there. I'm like, I'm not working. I'm a comedian. They fell out laughing. I go, it's Roseanne Barr. And they're like, oh, okay, never mind. So I go back inside, and we roasted her. And when I went up there and just roasted Mary about, I was still working the streets, and where this bitch been, you think you cute. I don't even remember what I said. I just improv'd it. I had the gist of what I wanted to do, and just roasted her, and everybody killed it. And Roseanne's like, you're fucking funny. Mooney, where did you find her? But she was still nice because she was working.
Right.
And after that show aired and went off the air, and then Roseanne was just in syndication forever, one of the funniest shows ever.
Great show.
Stopped working. She hadn't done stand-up in 20-something years. So when you're sitting there collecting a check, a lot of checks, and sitting in your mansion bored, and you're not being artistic, it makes you fucking go nuts. Look at how we were in the pandemic this year.
Yeah, man. A lot of people.
I'm doing 37 podcasts, headlining 4 shows a week. And that's just Friday. You know what I mean? So I kept myself busy because I was going crazy in the beginning. And I learned how to do all this shit. Now I'm doing everything. So it helped me. But when you're not working, idle hands are the devil's hands. So she snapped, and she's legitimately gone. So bye. Don't care.
Right, yeah.
Because it wasn't like, oh, it's a funny tweet. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking freak. She's gone. She really is like, phew.
Especially, did you see that clip when she was in an interview and they asked her about it, and she says that she thought she was white, and then she freaks out and she's screaming, I thought she was white! I thought she was white!
I thought the bitch was white! God damn it! I thought the bitch was white! Fuck!
Yeah,
that's when you're like, yeah, she's definitely nuts. And like,
that's when you're like, security, please.
She also has like multiple personality disorder.
Yeah,
she's
got
like
a personality for every pound on her fat ass. Hey, hold on.
Yes, nice.
But she's after I worked with Dice in 2019, right before the pandemic. He proposed to her. She asked him for help. So Dice is a good man, and offered to help her.
As controversial, as outspoken, and as fucking funny, let's hear it for Roseanne Barr, ladies and gentlemen.
He goes, why don't we do the Mr. and Mrs. America tour? Because we're the 2 most offensive people. You're hated, and I'm always hated.
Right.
So he was going to do a tour and then try to bring it to Broadway, to make it a Broadway show and give Roseanne work. This is how Andrew is. He's that guy. Like, when Eleanor's not with him, he takes me with him, So, he looks out for me all the time. So he looks out for everybody, because he goes, I have everything. I want to help. So he offered this to her right after I finished. That next weekend they were doing Atlantic City together, the debut of it. And she goes, how long do you want me to do? An hour? And he goes, you can't do an hour. He goes, why don't you try 10 minutes? Start there. He goes, you haven't done stand-up in 300. You haven't done stand-up in 300 years. Why don't you start with 10 minutes? That's so. It was like Hiroshima when she was on stage. Thank God Eleanor was there to open it, to buffer Roseanne, and she's like, chomp, 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 go Trump. That's how the way she got the crowd on her side, was screaming MAGA, and because they're all fucking. It's The Walking Dead following Trump. And so they're all excited because they heard the manga. So they went nuts. And then she tried to do jokes, and it was like, and then Dice picked up the tail end. But yeah, he goes, but that tour ended quick.
Like a couple of shows. Okay, I'm out of here.
By the time Dice was in his last bit, closing with the nursery rhymes, the show was canceled. He's like, fuck this bitch.
Even he was canceling her.
Yeah. He goes, take another Ambien and go to sleep. Jesus. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I never said that. I'm just kidding.
So we got Roseanne at 3. So far I'll go through what we have so far. We've mentioned Chris Delia at 5. Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens at 4.
Yay!
And then we got your friend Roseanne Barr at 3. So far, these are pretty high profile comedians that were canceled, and I would say 2 out of 3 definitely deserve it.
Yeah, Paul Reubens.
Yeah, Paul Reubens I think should have gotten a second chance because it was victimless in a sense. And with Roseanne, she has to understand too, when you start venting publicly, even if you don't know, even if you didn't mean it as racist.
I thought the bitch was white!
But you definitely meant it as an insult.
Right.
That you got to be prepared for that kind of backlash.
Yeah, and you're a high profile person.
Right.
So you're going to, so you got to choose your words wisely. You know what I mean? Like I told you before, Facebook, Twitter, all that shit is all inside voices that don't need to be heard.
Exactly.
Like people use it as a cigarette. They emotionally react. I got to put it on Facebook. And then you put it on Facebook. Now it's in print forever.
And it will haunt you forever.
It will haunt you for the rest of your life. Look at Kevin Hart.
Just 2 days after being named host of the 2019 Academy Awards, comedian and actor Kevin Hart is stepping down from his duties. There's been an outcry over his past homophobic tweets, and Hart says he doesn't want to be a distraction.
Kevin Hart is a great example.
2008, he did a gay joke on Twitter. And they do, they're like this with the fucking telescope looking for shit.
Yeah.
With their shovels digging stuff up. Trying to find things like hidden treasure. You think they dig, you think they'd find a pot of gold. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you got to be careful. That's why I just post stupid shit. And, I'm sure my show will get me canceled in the next 10. I'm number 1 on my list, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. Just to let you guys off the hook, I'm number 1 on the list.
That's great. But my next one, so now a lot of people, are, using their clout or their status to, I think that happens with most celebrities to some degree, to get their way or get what they want. And sometimes they could take advantage of it. And I think that's what happened with this next guy who just loved to masturbate in front of women. And this is Louis C.K.
Louis C.O.C.K. Louis. Oh no, he's gonna come.
Find a place in my house where I can masturbate without somebody bothering me. And that's really difficult.
Poor guy.
Have you ever been around Louis or
not long enough to get jerked off on, but damn it. I totally could have used that 15-minute feature spot. Okay, here's my dilemma with Louis C.K. I love him.
He's a genius.
He's brilliant. He's hilarious, and he owns his shit. Now, if you're now, the whole thing, because there's 2 sides to it. Like I have a pro Louis and an anti Louis. And being a female comic in this industry as long as I have, when you go to a comics hotel room at 2 or 3 in the morning after the show because you want to be around that celebrity, You're trying to get a piece of it. You're trying to open for him. You're trying to get some kind of a gig out of it. There's always something. And nobody does anything out of the kindness of their heart at 3 a.m. in a hotel room.
True. That's a good valid point.
When you go to, so again, take responsibility for your participation and your own actions.
Yes, I feel like I should go out and get laid, but I don't have sex drive, really. It's not sex drive. I have sex, just sit in the car and hope someone gets in. There's not really, it's not drive.
What other people do is you're not responsible for, because that's not you. You're only responsible for how you act and react and what situations you choose to put yourself into. You know what I mean? So him going to the hotel, the girls going to the hotel room, say 2, 3 after a show, and him asking them, may I jerk off in front of you? Which I've had men say that to me before. Like they just like you watching them.
Yeah,
to me, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's like, weird.
So I'm looking at him in the eye, like I'm staring at him right in the eye. Yeah, you like that, huh? How's that feel in your hand, you fucking creep? You know what I mean? Because one thing a guy doesn't want eye contact is when he's jerking off or when he's getting head. You never look at him in the eye and those two things. Because that's just creepy.
I'm a good father, I recycle, and I masturbate. And I'm proud of it. And God's happy. And later I'm going to masturbate and I'm going to think about you.
Even on my end, it's creepy. But I do it to fuck. You know, if I was with Louis C.K. at 2 a.m, I would be expecting him to try to at least make a pass.
Right.
At least try to hit on me. I would be assuming that's why I'm going to the hotel room. It's not to play checkers and knit sweaters. It's to fucking knit sweaters. You know? So when he asks, because he's a gentleman, and may I jerk off? Can I jerk off in front of you? Because that's his fetish. And she says no, and he does anyway. Okay, there's 2 things you can do. A, sit there and watch him, and participate.
Fuck it. Fuck you. Go ahead and look, man. I got nothing. What else am I gonna do?
Or B, get your ass up and walk out of the hotel. Louis C.K. is just a blubbery fucking pasty dude. What is he gonna do? Especially when he's got his dick in his hand. You wait till he pulls his pants down, he's vulnerable.
Right, yeah, that's when
you ever been chased down a hallway in a hotel with a man with his pants around his ankles and his dick hanging out? They don't run very fast. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so figure out, pick what's harmful and what's not. And so to me, that was like, it's just as much your fault as it is his.
I'm down in the cellar by the boiler like a troll down there. Just fucking miserable shit.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, you shouldn't be asking women, may I jerk off in front of you? You know,
how does he get to that point? Like in the conversation, yeah, like you got to build up to that, and then say, hey, by the way,
hey, great set tonight. Yeah, thanks. Hey, I love that joke you did about this. Oh yeah, that was really cool. By the way, can I jerk off in front of you?
Right.
It's a bit. He's always running a bit. You know.
Yeah. In case they say no, I was just trying something new.
This is my closer.
More of me.
That's what I'm gonna call a guy's jerking off now. Running a bit on you.
That's great.
So here's the thing I don't like about him, and what is really disgusting about the situation. Dave Becky, his manager, threatened the girls and paid them off and threatened their careers if they said anything.
Right, yeah.
Louis didn't, but his manager did to do damage control. Instead of saying, hey, I know he's creepy, he's got a weird fetish, he likes to jerk off. Did he hurt you in any way? Do you want some cash? You want to open for him? Not your legs, but, actually on a real stage without a pole on it. If he said something like that, like, can we, get you whatever or pay you something? But he threatened their careers like a psycho.
At the time, I said to myself that what I did was okay, because I never showed a woman my dick without asking first, which is also true. But what I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to look at your dick isn't a question, it's a predicament for them. The power I had over these women is that they admired me, and I wielded that power irresponsibly.
Right, yeah.
So you don't do that. Not when someone jerks off in front of you and it makes you uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
that's that dichotomy that I'm fighting with myself. With, do you let it go? Because Louis didn't hurt anybody.
It was
but physically. But here's Dave Vecchi threatening their careers. Now they're scared. Now what do? You know what I mean? Like, again, being a woman in this industry is really hard, and one little decision, stupid decision, could fuck up your whole life because it's you against the boys club.
Right.
So
yeah. Especially in comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's anywhere though. Corporate. It's everywhere. Right. It's a man's world, and us women that are strong and we're fighters, like I have to fight twice as hard to get half as much as other girls do because I don't put out. Boo. You know, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't hang out and party. I don't, do all that creepy stuff. I don't do that. So it's taking me twice as long to get half as far. Now, if I did that stuff, I would be like Natasha Leggero, who fucked her way to the top, Chelsea Handler, who fucked her way up. All these women fucked their way up. Amy Schumer, you know what I mean? Like they all fucked their way up.
Right.
And Sarah, so all of them. And I'm not saying anything negative about it. Do you, girl? If that's what you have to do to get there, girl, then use that pussy for good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Use that pussy for good.
I just have a lot more. Just me. I just have a lot more confidence in my talent and my smarts than I do my vagina. She gets me in trouble.
Famous environment, the cats
My vagina makes really bad decisions. It's like a kid, the kid don't touch the stove. My vagina will touch the stove and go, oh yeah, you're right, it's hot. Damn it.
It's got to find out for itself. Yeah. It's
she
like
finds out the hard way, so I have to keep her in check.
Yeah, I mean, I think too, to your point, I think that there's more pride in making it and succeeding without having to resort to any tactics such as that. So all your success is yours. It was never given to you. You earned it.
It's a great feeling when, and believe me, I've heard, oh, you're funny for a chick. Oh, you're a female comic. Oh, you're just some bitch comic. Oh, you're not going to be funny. You have a vagina. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I would be Jeff Bezos rich.
Right.
But it is nice to hear when someone just says you're a fucking funny comic and they don't even bring my gender into it because they listened to the funny.
Exactly.
And that is a huge feeling of satisfaction in my life. Like that's like, yes, you hear me. You're not looking at my fucking gender or listening like, oh, she does bitch comedy. So it's a really empowering feeling when someone just says a really funny comic, because a lot of times they'll bring you up. This next comic is a female.
Yeah, that's messed up nowadays.
This next guy's a really funny female comedian. What? So it's in subconsciously in our brains, like we're programmed. It's that kind of world. That's why we're in this predicament with this, that's why we're fighting so hard. That's like, just it's hard enough as it is to be female in this world, and then dumb bitches like that got to go to his hotel room at 2 a.m. and watch him jerk off. Or stupid bitches take Ambien and put monkey comments about a fucking Congress. I can't. Stop! You're killing us. Like.
So that's Louis. So we got again Chris Delia at 4, Pee Wee Herman. No, Chris D'Elia at 5.
D'Elia's at 5. Pee Wee Herman at 4.
4. Roseanne at 3. Louis C.K. at 2, and the number 1 canceled comedian.
I'm interested to see who your number 1 is.
It's Bill Cosby.
Oh.
well, you are definitely.
I'm tied.
You're on the list. but Bill Cosby.
Yay! You see, when you drug the bitches up and then you take your dick and put it in the pudding popper butthole and blah.
For always knowing that we love Jell-O pudding, here's to mine.
Bill Cosby's definitely the
Uncle
most
Bill.
infamous one. I think what he did is the biggest crime of all the others.
Cosby is charged with aggravated indecent assault. After years of denial and claims that the encounter was consensual, Bill Cosby for the first time faces criminal charges for the alleged sexual assault of a Pennsylvania woman.
So you got people that misspoke, you got people that masturbate, and then you got a guy who literally drugged and raped women.
Now, if you notice something with these guys, they all have a fetish, like this weird, creepy fetish. Delia has a fetish for young, little 12-year-old girls. He probably jerks off to the Sally Struthers fucking commercial. For just 12 cents a day, you can fuck one of these little underage kids in Africa. You know what I mean?
Right.
He probably finds National Geographic hot, you know? So and then you got, Paul Reubens, who just likes to jerk off in theaters in public, like that fear of getting caught. Well, bitch, you got caught because some queen saw you in that porn theater on Santa Monica.
Right.
And I did a stand-up show in that theater one time too, so that was kind of hot.
Oh wow, yeah.
So and then you got Roseanne's fetish is just being a racist crazy bitch on Ambien. I've never said racist shit on Ambien, but I'll have to try it. Bill Cosby is a fetish among, that's a creepy elite fetish.
He asked me back a few times. He asked me to visit him on the set. I was not the only girl that he was doing this with.
Mr. Cosby wanted me to come down for an audition for the Bill Cosby Show.
I'm going to offer you a part on the Cosby Show.
He had been mentoring me and grooming me. He said, well, come up to my bungalow after I'm finished shooting and we'll work on it.
So he asked me, he says, before we go out to dinner, would you like a cocktail?
I had 1 glass of wine with dinner. He made me a drink.
He said, oh, I've got something for that, and he gave me a pill. It was red wine, it was a pill.
He opened up a briefcase that was on his front seat, and it was filled with different assorted pills.
This men's shaving kit opened up with lots of pills.
Why don't you take a couple of these to help you relax?
I took 1 sip, and I felt something very strange going on in my head.
I began to feel very, very, very drugged.
He drugged me and my roommate.
I knew I had been drugged. It was very powerful. It came on very quickly.
And very shortly after that, I passed out.
The last thing I remember, I had blacked out and Cosby mounting me.
Yeah.
Like that's some Law and Order criminal intent fetish. So not even SVU. Like it's not even low enough for Ice-T. Ice-T gets the low rent shit. Yo, we got these streets and shit, because I ain't no bitch. But we got the criminal intent when you got Vince D'Onofrio, like creepily dissecting shit. Bill Cosby, like how do you get to that point that you want to, you're Bill fucking Cosby, okay?
That is great. Give us a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
And you gotta fucking drug a bitch to knock her out to fuck her because that's like that fetish of knocking her out and taking advantage of her. Like that's creepy. Like how do you get to that point? Like, wow, regular sex is boring. I'm gonna try it this way, and then before you know it, you're drugging bitches on the kitchen floor and fucking them.
I woke up or came to very groggily with him removing my underwear.
The next thing I knew was 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up in a bed, naked, bruised.
There was a lot of pain downstairs. There was semen all over me, and that my pajamas bottoms were off.
I woke up out of a very confused state and knowing that my body had been touched without my permission.
There is something like he must have mental issues too. I mean, to do something like that, you don't just do that. That's like some deep-seated evil betrayal type shit, man.
Yeah, the funny thing is like you see how adamant he was about being TV's dad, and that time he was mad at like people like Wanda Sykes and all them for like being edgy and saying curse words in their act, and he made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And then there was some award show. What award show was it? When Wanda Sykes was hosting, and she went up to the mic, and he fucking turned his back to her.
Lipsy could use some work. You got Larry David sitting behind. Larry don't know what he's doing. You know that. His show all improvised. Like the Cosby Show, that was all scripted.
Yeah, we spoke English.
Because you know why? He He didn't want her to smell his breath with the fucking drugs and the pussy.
Yes.
Because she would recognize that smell.
Yes.
She's gay.
Yes.
All right.
So, is there anybody on the list that I missed? So again, I'll go through it just for the people at home. At number 5, Delia. 4, Pee Wee Herman. 3, Roseanne. 2, Louis. And number 1, Fat Albert Cosby himself.
Bill Pudding Pop and Pussy Cosby.
Bill Pudding Pop Pussy.
I think Cardi B needs to do a song Pudding Pop Pussy. But no, actually, those were kind of the same ones I had, but not in that order.
This was great stuff. I mean, because you make a ton of sense, and also you've been around a lot of these people on the list. If I went after comics that hit on me or did something inappropriate to me, there'd be 4 comics left at the Comedy Store. Because I have a story about a very well-known comic who did shit to me, but guess what? I stopped it in action and I walked away, and nobody got hurt. Did I go to Mitzi and go, I feel really triggered about him being here. Either he goes or I go. Mitzi would tell me to get the fuck out. So when did this happen? This was like, when were you there? You in the
I was
90s?
there from 95 till 2005.
Nice.
And this was he's, a has-been now. But this was a well-known, like, everybody loved this guy, getting TV shows and all this shit. And he would say stuff to me. Like, if I pull into the lot, get out, he'd be like, "Foxy lady." I just let it roll off because he's just being funny or whatever. And he would always chirp something at me every time I was around him or say something. Well, one time in the back of the Comedy Store, when you walk in the back door it's a hallway. And there's like the bathrooms, individual bathrooms here for the OR, which is the original room. There's a gate, a folding gate thing for the basement that's always locked. And then past that is the stairwell to the back of the OR, the original room. And then if you keep it on the hallway, there's the kitchen. And then in the back is the back entrance to the main room and the stairs to the belly room. Well, they've remodeled it since I've been gone, but there's more stuff. Anyway, so I'm walking in, and in behind me comes this man, pins me up like this against the gate, shoves his crotch into my crotch, face right here. He goes, "God, I've been wanting to fuck you so bad. You're so fucking hot." And I'm like, "Get the fuck off me, dude." Wow. And then one of the waitresses came down. She goes, "What are you guys doing?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing." And I'm like, "Nothing, it's fine." And I just walked away. I never spoke to him again. He never spoke to me again. All good. Did I feel threatened and triggered? No, because it was handled. Did I get hurt? No. Did he creep me out? He didn't really creep me out, but it was just like, gross. Like, seriously,
forceful.
dude, that's you forced yourself on me and pinned me against the wall with your fucking whole body. So you forced yourself on me if you want to play dirty. But I was like, you know what? I could handle myself. I thank God I have thick skin. Thank God my mom raised me to be strong. Thank God Mitzi raised me in that Comedy Store to be strong. Late, great Mitzi Shore. And thank God I had people around me like Mooney and Dice and everybody to like toughen me up. So,
yes, indeed.
But this dude's name is, I won't say his name, but it rhymes with gay whore.
I've heard so many stories, so many negative stories about gay whore.
Don't talk to her. I hate him.
Yeah. He's a horrible person. He's a horrible, and now look at him. Now look at you. You're a life coach.
I will sidetrack and derail any conversation with words. Words are my moat. I keep you on that side of the moat, but if you're on this side of the moat, I just use more words to keep you from getting out.
Yeah. So karma got him. So I didn't have to do anything. Lady, you don't have to do anything when they do something stupid like that. Let karma handle it.
Karma will handle it. Yes, indeed.
If not, call me. I'll punch him in his fucking face.
Yeah, because not only did that, he's such this guy, gay whore, people at home
I
should be
you're
able.
just playing right into
Yeah,
it.
they should be able to figure it out too. But he's known to steal complete stories.
And then he hands it to me, and I haven't smoked pot every day since I was like 16 at this point, right? I take one hit of this joint, and it felt like glass was going down my throat, and I immediately throw up on the sidewalk. Like, I can't stop. I finally go like, what? Like, you wipe the puke out of your nose? What the fuck was that? He goes, yeah, you never smoked PCP.
Like from Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
And he's also bullied people. And he stole. Did he steal? What's his name's wife?
Yeah.
Bobcat's wife. Yeah. He's a piece of shit, man.
Yeah. He's garbage, and that's why he's a life coach.
Buddha says
Wait.
before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water.
And I think he's got a cameo. You could do it. You could get a cameo.
I should get a cameo from him. Hey, gay whore. Here's $25. Will you do a cameo for me?
Hello, this is Christopher Walken, and I want to talk to the managers at the Center for It's not Christopher Walken, it's Jay Mohr. I played Bob Sugar in Show Business's Jerry Maguire.
Do your Tracy Morgan impression. That's so current.
He's such a has-been now that even if you wanted to cancel him, you couldn't.
It's not even worth it. Yeah.
He's already canceled.
It's like trying to cancel a bounce check. You can't cancel the check. It's done.
Let's go in the library. My favorite book is Scruples.
Piece of shit. Anyway.
Well, Christy, you rock. Thanks for doing this top 5 with us.
Oh, I love you. Thank you for having me on your
Yeah,
show.
you are amazing. And again, everybody could check you out. What's your YouTube and all your information?
My YouTube channel is Christy Miller Comedy, and you can also find me under #StrongestFemaleComedian. You can see me every Wednesday night on GOVSradio.com as Christy Unleashed, bitch, where we roast Hollywood's headlines and we don't give a fuck. And I also have a show Mondays at noon with Gina Savage, talent booker from New York, funny, great person, comedy producer. She's now relocated to Florida. She has Sunshine State Comedy, so comics. There's a lot of work down there if you want to die of coronavirus. And, so Gina Savage and I have a show Mondays at noon called Lunch Money. It's just a sweet little half-hour talk show to break up. We are your new noon. I also do Hot Mic on Friday nights. I do the RuPaul's Drag Race commentary on Hot Mic, where you can sync us with your television through the Hot Mic app and watch me roast those gays. Hey, queen.
That's awesome. And you also have one tonight, coming up tonight.
That's Hot Mic, yeah.
Yes, Hot Mic is tonight.
Yeah.
So, but Christy, thanks again. You're the
thank
best.
you, sweetheart. I love you. And
I love you too.
So hopefully I'll get some, when this opens up, I can get out Governors. Hint, hint, everybody.
Yes, we got to get you on Governors. I'm hoping that they're all watching this. This episode will run in May because I'm going to run these all. This is a whole new show, and I'm going to set it off. It's going to go every Tuesday starting in April, and then this is our May 1st week episode.
That's my mom's birthday.
Very cool. Excellent.
She doesn't remember. She has dementia.
Oh,
so.
sorry.
Every day's her birthday. So.
See, that's a positive way to look at it. Yeah.
Right?
Excellent. All right, Christy, we'll keep kicking some butt, and I'll definitely see you soon, all right?
Definitely. You too, honey. Keep rocking it. Love you. Mwah.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Well, there you have it, everybody. That's the top 5 canceled comedians. I want to thank Christy Miller for helping me out with a really great top 5 list. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Did I miss anybody? Should I have added anybody? Do you not agree or do you disagree? Let me know. I'm always like to know. Please, as always, subscribe and share. And we'll see you next week.